In this video, I'm going to show you how to animate this
The most
widget
scalable
inside
part of your
Davinci
business
Resolve.
isn't webinar, ads, funnels, it's DMs.
The asset for this tutorial can be found with a link in the description. Let's get started. We are in the edit page of Davinci Resolve. I'm going to create a new timeline. Uncheck project settings. I will vertical resolution 30 frames per second. Create that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a fusion composition. Bring in a fusion composition. I'm going to make that maybe should be around 6 seconds long. We'll find out. And I'm going to open the fusion composition in the fusion page. In the fusion page, I'm going to get a background node and connect the background node to my media out. I'm going to change the background color to white. And next thing I want to do, I'm going to go to my media pool. I'm going to bring in the clip we're going to be replicating. I'm going to quickly name it clip to make sure I'm viewing that here. We're going to be working on this. So it ends around here, so we have to cut it around 1. Let's go back to the edit page. I'm going to cut this here. If I play it now, you have that. So you need to understand that first of all, we have this one, we have this text coming in from here for this one, and this one, this money counter happening too, and it goes into an iPhone 14 and it starts moving down like that. The line is popping up. So we're going to try to replicate all that. Okay, before we start, I'm just going to move this down here so that we have space. Now first thing you want to do is I'm just going to make this move this text. I'm going to get the text node. I'm going to get a background node and turn the alpha value down to 0. I'm going to connect this text here. What I'm going to do is Control G here, Control G. I'm going to make sure I'm viewing this in the second viewer. I mean, this should be here and this here. Good. In this text, I'm going to write most scalable part. I'm going to bump up the size like that. Make sure I want to, let's go to where it's fully in on screen. Yes, like that. I think then I'm going to go to layout. I take it down here. That's good for that text. I'm going to change the font to Helvetica. I'm going to move it to oblique. I'm going to reduce it again, maybe oblique. That's going to reduce it again. So that's this one it's perfect. I think most scalable part. And next, if you want to see the animation, is let's just add the text in everything, and then for your business, I'm going to copy this one, Control C, Control V, and in this one I'm going to write your business, and I'm going to connect this here, make sure I'm viewing it here, and I'm going to go to the layout of this text, and I'm going to take it down to around here, and I'm going to bump up the size because the size of this one is very big. Good. I think that this one works. What I did to create this 3-part gradient is very simple. I had a background node. I changed it from solid color to gradient and from linear to reflect. If I'm viewing this here, now I bring this one to this point and this one outside like this. So if I just make sure I have 3 colors here, or I bring this one here and one in the middle, the black one should be in the middle. Good. So if I pick this color here, from here, then here I come here, I pick this one, and then here I pick another one. Now you see that we have different colors. Now I'm going to connect it here, and in this merge node I'm going to change the operator to in. Let's look at what I'm doing. Good. You see that now I can add glow. So, and the next one is we are going to create is this counter here, which is Control C, get a text node, Control V. So I'll just name this one money counter. Okay, hit OK. I'm just going to make sure I bring it down here. Good. So before that, get a background node, get a rectangle mask, connect the rectangle mask to the background node. We're going to size this up like this, bring this height down. I'm going to try to put it here and then bump up the corner radius to here, something like that. And I'm going to, for now, let me delete this, let me remove disconnect this text from here, bring this rectangle and background here, connect it here, shift it to the side, and in this rectangle I might just increase the corner radius again. Control C the background and the rectangle, and Control V, paste that there. I'm going to change the background color of this one to white, and this rectangle I'm going to uncheck solid and turn on the border width. Then here I connect this. Good. So we have this one here, and now all we can then do is connect this money counter here. Good. And if we do that, we have that. So we can just come to this money and cancel all of this. Now in order for you to get this money counter, because you see it's not, it counts from to about 1,000,000. Yeah, good. So what we're going to do is we come back to where it is. Okay, we are going to come, make sure you select the money, and you're going to come to where it says counter, right click and select edit controls. Make sure you use capital C and you write counter. Good. And you're going to come here, you're going to change this to text, and you're going to check interval, and you're going to write here from 0 to 1,000,000, and you're going to use a slider control, and that's all. Hit OK. It has created that. If you come down here, it has created a slider control. Okay, you're going to right click here and select expression. It's going to show this one here, and you're going to connect the expression to the counter. Now you see 0 appears. You see if I move it, it's already counting. We need a comma and we need this $sign there. So what do we do? I'm going to provide you a link in the description of the expression that I will use. So you make sure you copy that expression and continue with the tutorial. After you're done copying the expression, you're going to cancel this counter. You're used to use Control V. If you use a different counter without using a capital letter at the beginning, it's not going to work. So you make sure you take that into, because it's character sensitive. And you're going to come to where it says prefix, postfix, that is after the dollar, after the money. You're going to cancel it. It's going to be an empty space, and then you're going to come to prefix and you put the $sign. You're going to see it has changed, right? So the next thing you have to do is just change the color of the text, and that is it. Let's go to animating all of this. At frame 0, you see that everything is outside. So okay, the first one that comes in at frame 2, that means frame 1 it's outside. So at frame 1, come to this text that has more scalable, and you're going to keyframe the center. Go to frame 10, keyframe the center again, go back to frame 1, and you take it to the left side of the screen. Good. And if we play that, you see it coming in. Good. So what next do we do? So we are going to take it to spline at the same moment. Go to frame 9 and go to your business, the text that has your business. Keyframe the position and go to frame 17 and keyframe the position again. Go back to frame 9 and take it to the right side like so. Good. You see that there is an opacity animation for this money counter here. So what we are going to do is go to the merge node that has the money counter. Go to frame 8, keyframe the blend value. Go 1, 2, 3, 4 till it's fully opaque. I think let's say frame 12, keyframe the blend value again. Go to frame 8, take it down to 0. So if you good. Now what we are going to do is I'm going to control 1, 2, 3, select all of this, and if you don't know how to do this one, everything is going to appear. So come to this three dot and show only selected tools. It's going to show you only what you have selected, right? So if I zoom to fit, I have these two texts. What I'm going to do is just select and ease out cubic. Good. So you ease out cubic, that one. I think ease out cubic is the best animation you can do. For the money counter, I'm going to go to frame 0, keyframe the counter, take it down to 0. I'm going to go to where we don't see the money counting. That is somewhere go it still goes, it's still going, it's okay to where it disappears. Let's say frame 90, and I'm going to take the value all the way up to 1. So if you look at that now, we're going to, yes, the money counts to that. Yeah, I think it's better. So I'm just going to go to spline, select all, ease out cubic. That's it. So if we play the first part of our animation now, we have that. Good. And then what we have to do is all of these text have motion blur. So I'm going to quickly turn on motion blur, or we're going to do it at the end of the video, but you have to remember that all of it has motion blur. You see here is motion blur. This is the effect of motion blur. So you are going to bump it up, but in order for us to have a smooth animation, a smooth tutorial, I'm going to leave that for now. So let's continue to the next. This is like the first scene. We're going to continue with the second scene. We are done with this one basically. So I'm just going to highlight all of this, and I'm going to use an underlay either there. I'm going to hold down Alt and select the underlay so that I can name it F2. I'm going to name it money counter, and you can change the color. If you want to change the color, just select this and right click, and you see set color here. You can change the color to any color you want. So in order for you to create this node webinar, and we're going to see how it works. It's here, it comes down like that, it comes down, okay, scales up and goes down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a background node, turn that alpha value down to 0, and I'm going to get another background node. I'm going to get a rectangle mask, connect the rectangle to the background and the background to this other background. Make sure I'm viewing this one here. I'm just going to go to the rectangle, make sure we reduce the width. I'm just going to make sure I size it like this. We reduce the width, reduce the height, and I'm going to bring it down here. We're going to arrange all of that later, but I just want it to fit. So if you want to copy the values of the rectangle, these are the rectangle values. I'm going to control C this one, that is copy it, and then control V. I'm going to shift move this to the side, connect this one here, and in this background I'm going to change the background color to white. I'm going to uncheck solid, increase border width, and we have that here. I know this one, I need to change this corner width for the corner radius here. I'm going to use 0.3 there, 0.3 here. Good. So we have that, and the border width I'm going to reduce the border width. Good, something around that, and I'm going to move this up like this, and I'm going to get a text box here, connect it here, and it's written not webinar. I'm going to change the font to vertical public. Going to move it here. I think that just size it a little bit down. Okay, and I'm going to change the color to red. I'm going to go to shading, enable red outline, and I'm going to enable black shadow. I'm going to come here, pop up the softness like that, go to the red shadow. You're going to increase the softness. I think that is okay. You can play with these values as how long as you want. Anyone that works for you is fine. The next thing we want to do is I'm gonna get an iPhone. You're going to see that this computer and the iPhone are behind this. So what are we going to do? I'm going to go to my media pool. I'm going to get it and get the computer. I'm going to name this now I'm going to add a transform node to both of them. Now I can then connect this here, connect this here. Good. So you see that we are going to make sure that this is where it's supposed to be, like here. I'm going to bring this down here. Oh, good. I'm just going to size it down a lot. Yeah, this size works. I'm just going to like 4.5, and in the phone I'm going to use for 0.5. I think that is okay. Right now we are going to see the animation. You don't need to create all of this. We are just going to create one, and the next thing we are going to do is duplicate all of them, and boom. If you look at it, I'm just going to bring this one up a bit so that we can see what is happening there. The computer starts scaling up. So go to frame 62, go to the computer, keyframe the value, and go to frame 70, keyframe it, and go to frame 75, keyframe it again. At frame 62, the value is 0. At frame 70, you can just move this to 0.5. It pops up. I'm just going to bring it down a touch. It pops up and scales back down. Then go to the last frame, which is here, and maybe you can use 0.5. Now we can go to the phone, go to frame 80, and go to the transform of the phone, keyframe the size at frame 80, go to frame 72, keyframe it again, and go to frame 66, keyframe it again. At frame 66, bring the size down to 0. Frame 72, take the size to maybe 0.7. So if I'm done with that, I'm just going to select this, go to spline, select all, hit S, and I want to like maybe arrange this one a little bit. And if we play it now, good. So it pops up, come back down, pops up, come back down, pops up. But if you keep looking at it, you're going to see that it continues shaking. So shift space and add camera shake, enter. And if I play it now, you're going to see it's shaking a lot. It's shaking like a lot. So I need to bring down the speed, bring down the overall strength, bring down the randomness, and bring down the deviation. Bring this one down, bring this one down again, and I might just bring down the randomness again, and the speed down, the strength down. Good. That is all we need. After that, we are done with the first one. And if we are done with the first, I'm just going to quickly do this, and here shift space underlay, enter, and I'm going to hold down Alt, select the underlay, and F2. I'm going to write not webinar. Let me add a transform node here. Add frame 65, keyframe it, and that let's say frame 75, keyframe it again. So we go to this one. You might just scale it up a bit, and then go to the first one, take it down to 0. Good. So I'm just going to bring the pivot to this point so that it scales not from the center but to this point. You see, now if we're going to add a transform node here so that we can move it around using this transform. And if I'm viewing it here, let's say I take it up here, so we have this. Now I can take this transform node into spline, do the same thing, hit S, and make sure that this one is flat. So good. I can then control C, control V. So we're just going to move it up. So you're going to make sure you delete this one, this computer, and you're going to connect that one. Make sure you name them. You name it Google, Instagram. They're all the assets are found in the description. Get a transform node for all of them so that you can be able to size them down. That in the viewer, in the first viewer there. So go to Google, change it to 0.05, change the size to 0.05, take it to the side. There's a rotation there, make sure you rotate it. So we're just going to go to the Instagram, change it to 0.5, take it down, take it to the side. Go to Facebook, change the size to 0.5, take it down and take it below. I think that's okay. There's a rotation, just rotate it a bit, and that's it. Now if you go to the transform node of the Instagram, arrange it again. You can take it down to 0.04. It's too big at 0.5. And you go to the text and change it to not ads. If you go to the transform node of the Google Ads, take it down to 0.417. Now if you go to where the animation starts, the animation starts at frame 90 for Facebook and Instagram. So keyframe both at that frame 90. Then at frame 86, go to spline, take select all and take the animation to start at frame 85. So if you play that, you're going to see that the animation starts at frame 85. Yeah, yes, we have that. Good. Now 90, go to frame 96, keyframe that of the Instagram, and just zigzag it a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. Go to frame 100, keyframe that 101, keyframe it again for the Instagram, and go to frame 105, keyframe that for the Facebook. Each of them, as we have been doing, should have 3 keyframes. So one that goes up, the first one should be at 0. The first one should be at 0. That's frame 90. Go to frame 85 for the Instagram. Take it up to 0.6. The last, it should come down to 0.6 and frame 87. So select all, go to spline, zoom to fit, and hit S. Make sure you smooth them to have a like a mountain animation so that it stays there for a little bit. Now if you go to this transform node, controlling everything, we are just going to position that there. Move up, no, that's too much, and then take it down. I think that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to control C again, this one, control C, and then I'm going to paste it here, V. You can already know what we have to do. I'm just going to delete this Google, then delete this Instagram. Yes, now we're left with just this Facebook. We can shift it here, and I'm going to go to my media pool and get this. You have this self funnel here. I'm going to delete this one too. I'm going to connect this one here. There's a rotation here. I'm just going to make it like that. So where this one has to be here, I'm just going to quickly name this F2. This one has to be up here. I'm gonna get it up here. Yeah. And what I did was that to make it pop a little bit, I added this dollar sign here. So I'm just gonna get a text node, and I'm going to add the dollar sign. I'm gonna use clash display variable as the font, and I'm going to connect it here. Good. Change the color to black. and get it down below here. Good. Perhaps we have to change this text to not funnels, and I think that is okay for this one. Then we come to this transform. We're going to get it here. Now you just need to change the animation of this one and this one. Yeah. So let's look for where the animation starts. Okay, this one, it starts here. That's the this one starts here. I'm going to go to the keyframes tab, make sure I zoom to fit, enlarge so that it comes out. I'm just going to move this to frame 120 to frame 112. That's okay. That's it. So from here, the animation, you see, it starts, bounces the same way. So what about this one? What about the animation for the box? Okay, it starts around 105. I'm going to come to this one, this transform, go to frame 105. Make sure I open this up, zoom to fit, and I select all of this, move this to frame 105. I can close my keyframe tabs now, and you see that we have the same pop. I think that is okay for that. Next thing I want to do is create this, it's DMs. So we're just going to do the same thing. Let me copy this one, control C, control V, take this to the side. Okay, I'm just gonna delete this and make sure I'm viewing this here. I'm just gonna delete this one, delete. I have two of them. If I go to my media pool, get this here and this one. Now for this one, we have to add a background to it. So yeah, how that is done is simple. It's very simple. We're just going to create one and then copy it to the other. So I'll enlarge this here, add a background node, and I can just pick the color of the background from here and then merge it over here, merge it over here. I'm going to go to the merge node and set it to the operator to in. Go to this merge node, operator in, boom, you have that. So now we have to come to this one, nope, this one, and get this position down here. Seems like the size is too small, so we have to make sure that I come to this one. This is it. Okay, it's 0.4 is small, so we are going to use 0.6 here. Go back 0. Maybe 8, 0.8. Good. I think that is better. Good. Then we can just take it down. So with that, we have created that one. You have to come to this text and change it to its DM, and the color, you are going to change the color to go to frame 133. In this transform node, move it to frame 137. Select this, both of these. I'm going to move this to frame 137 and select this too. Move it to frame 137. So if I play it, I'm just going to move this one. We play it now. Good. Good. So we are done with that. And if you look at it, this one has to be in the middle. From this transform node here, I'm going to position this in the center here. Good. So now we have all of this, and we can bring this to the side. Now all we have to do is animate this thing coming down. Let me just quickly go ahead, and we're going to create this what we have here as get a background node. This line here, get a background node and get a polygon mask. Connect the back polygon to the background. I'm going to come to the polygon, click at the center here because it has to be at the center. I'm going to come here, click here, hold down shift so that it gives me a straight line, and I'm going to click here. Yes, you want a long line because you need that. And I'm going to uncheck this animation here, uncheck solid. Good. You can use something like 0.0.5, that is better. Good. So I can use this, change this to flat, and we can take the polygon up like that. Good. Good. So we're going to animate that too. This is the fun part of the animation. We have created everything we need. What we're going to try to do is make this thing move like this, move down. So you're going to realize that at frame 50 it starts moving. Like, what I'm going to do is, if I connect the transform node here, it's going to move it with this background. So what I have to do is either I bring this one here and then I add another transform node. Like, this is what I'm going to do. I bring it here, I bring this merge node here, yes, and then add another transform node here. Good. If I add another transform node here, I make sure I arrange that just a little bit. Good. Then I can take this one just to arrange it a little bit, just to make this look good. Okay, I take it down like that. Then I can, with this transform node, I can then move this down and up. You get, see what I'm doing? So let me just recenter that. So go to frame 50. At frame 50, keyframe the center x and y value. Then go to frame 65. You see that it's already at the top of the phone is at the center. So I'm going to bring it down here. Good. Go to frame 82. Keyframe the center y value again so that it stays here. You see it doesn't move at this point. It stays here. Go to frame 93 and we're going to try to take it down to about that level. Somewhere around here. Oh, let's take it down again. Good. At frame 105, keyframe the center x and y value again so it stays here for that time. Okay, it doesn't move. Then go to frame 115. Go to frame 115 and make sure that it is, let's stop at frame 115. We're going to continue after this. Let's just position this first one so that we can use the location of this laptop to place this frame one. I'm just going to make sure that I keyframe, I just look for where the keyframes are. Okay, if at frame 150 we keyframe it, we go again forward frame 120, we go to frame 125, keyframe it again, and go to frame 140, keyframe it again. What we're going to try to do is use these points to place them. So if I'm going to get this one, connect it to this transform node here, and it's going to appear here. Okay, you see that it appears here. So I'm going to use this transform node there, the transform node that we added before. You're going to, where is the starts from frame 50. Let's just bring this one down here. At frame 65, this is where it is. At frame 83, let's do frame 83. It is still there. Okay, frame. Okay, I'm trying to get to where I'm going to position it well. Let's go to frame 100. Frame 100, go to this transform, that's transform number 8. We're just going to take it up like that too and place it here. Good, that's it, it's here. Then for the second one, at that same point, I'm going to connect the second one here, and at the same point, it is this one is here. So the Facebook is touching the middle line. That's, you see why we always need the guides, and we already did the hard work. We already did everything, and now it's just to position all of these. You position all of these, and kind of you're done with the animation. It makes the animation easy rather than creating one and using the next one. So at frame 100, we have already done this one and this one. So if you play it, yeah, try to play it now. Okay, I'm just going to go to my playback mode. I'm going to, for you to see what we're doing, check smart, and I'm going to use maybe quarter. So if I do that and then I try to play it, you're going to see I got, you see we have the, okay, around the same place. Good, you see it starts from above like that and comes here. So it goes down the same way. Now let's go to maybe around frame 103 where the next animation is, or frame 1015. This one is around here, frame 1015. I'm just going to connect the third one. Good. So come to this transform node, it's take it all the way up. Good. You're going to take it to around, just now. Okay, we have not made a movement for this one. We have not changed the point at this frame. Yep. So at frame 115, we have to go back to this transform node. So at frame 115, we're going to use this laptop. We're going to bring it down till about here. We're going to use the position of this laptop to know where we can place it here. That's why I left this one like that. So just get a frame 115, take it down. You take it down somewhere around here. And at frame 115, go back to this third transform node. That is the one having the funnel. And then we're going to just move it above. If you move it above like that, it's about here. I think that works. And something I forgot to do is I forgot to add a drop shadow to all of this. So make sure you add that. Oh, I'm going to add that at the end of it. Let's go to frame 125 and see where the other one appears. Go to this transform. I'm going to remove it. So at frame 125, it is like this. No. Frame 120, frame 115. You have it here. Remove this one. Frame 1. At frame 125, we have to keyframe this value again. Then you go to frame 140. At frame 140, you see that this one is down here. This is down here. So you go to this transform node, controlling all the movement, and you take it down again. Take it down until it is like that. Don't mind about the size of this one is bigger than this one, because the zoom here is, the screen here is 24%, here is 17%. That's why this one is smaller. Just think I should explain that. So it's no, we have to take it down a little bit again. Its DMs appears here at, so at frame 140 it is here. So we're going to bring it to the center here. Just make sure we connect that. It's, the connection is too far, I think. Yep. So we're going to get this transform node to the side here and go to this transform node. Make sure we take it up, 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 up. Good. Okay. So that is perfect. We have it. That's all we have to do, right? Good. So if I go to frame 50 where this animation starts, so at frame 50 we're going to come to this polygon. I'm going to keyframe the level value at frame 50. Go to frame 51, keyframe it again, and at frame 50 I'm going to take the level all the way down to 0, because it appears at frame 50. I'm going to just take this down a bit. Now if I've tried to take this polygon here, and each time I take here it does not work, so I'm going to do the longer process. So if we look at this one where the polygon starts its animation, so it starts at frame 51. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the polygon at frame 51, take the center x and y value all the way up to the top of the iPhone, and then I'm going to keyframe the center x, and I'm going to keyframe the length. So at frame 51 I'm going to take the length down to 0, right? Good. Then we're going to go to where the length, so we scroll, go up, and we see that at frame 70 it is out of the screen. So but the position, I'm going to bring the position down here. This is it here. I'm going to bring it down here, and it's going to add another keyframe at the center. Then I'm going to increase the length like that till it's out of the screen. Same thing here. Then we go again forward. If we go again forward, good. At frame 100 you're going to see that it is here. It stays here at frame 100, but this center, so I'm going to take this center down. Yes, this is a long process. This is the longer process, but I've tried to put it here and it gives me a lot of problems, so I just better use this method. It still works best. It gives a lot of work. Boom. Good. So yep. Okay, here it doesn't increase, so I'm going to go to this polygon, go to the go to frame 70. I'm going to make sure that the length at frame 70 is the same as the length at frame 100. I'm going to go to frame 100. The length is 392. Come back here and make sure this is 392. Good. If I then go up, good, frame 100, you see that okay, it's the same. Now we're going to go forward. Now at frame 120 it is down here, it follows the phone, but the size is still increased and it covers the entire screen like that. You're just going to go through and make sure that it is the same thing. And now at frame 140 it is down here at the center here. That's it. So what you're going to do now is, I think this is the end of the animation. So what you're going to do now is, I'm going to go through my animation and make sure that any point that this, yes, like here, I'm going to bring the center back here. You get me? So I'm going to go from frame, this is a long process. Yes, I'm going to start from frame 51 and I'm going to make sure that this, first of all, let me go to spline with the polygon. I'm going to go to spline, select all. I can unselect the level, then unselect this length because we don't need to unselect the, just select the length and hit S, select this one, S, so we have a good animation for the length, and that is it. Now the next thing we want to do is, good, you see at this frame 51 is the same thing. Now I'm going to go from go to frame 53, go to frame 54, go to frame 55. You see at frame 55 it is not here, so I'm going to bring it down here. Yes, going to bring it down here, and this is the trick I used, because if I tried to get it, maybe I'm the one doing it the wrong way, but I tried to get it here and it didn't work. So you're just going to watch me go through it and I'm going to show you the end of our animation. That's basically the end of our animation. After this there's nothing left for us to do, so let me quickly do it. Yeah, I think the animation is better now. If we go through it, we see that we have the same thing. Yeah. So what you can do is make sure you add motion blur here. I'm not going to add the motion blur because I want to play it so that you see. But you can just add motion blur to every, like for example, you come to this money and then you go to settings, check motion blur and increase the angle, increase the quality, increase the shutter angle. Go through all of it and do the same thing. Go to settings, check motion blur and increase it. And if you have done that, let's go to the edit page and check out our animation.
The most scalable part of your business isn't webinar, ads, funnels, it's DMs. The most scalable part of your business isn't webinar, ads, funnels, it's DMs.